What's up, you guys? Welcome back. The plan for today is to get into some squats as well as some accessory work. A couple things up front. I'm super stiff right now, just like the knee, my low back. I just feel super stiff, a little cranky in the joints. So I'm gonna just spend some time getting warmed up and we'll see where the training takes us today, all right? Let's get it. First things first, I'm gonna break this sled out. I'm just looking at 2 trips down and back. Get these legs warm, get the knees warmed up, just get some blood flow going here. There we go, getting a good burn. All right, last trip right here. Quads are going. Here we go. All right, come on. All right, so that was a great start. Got the lungs going. Quads got put on notice. Feeling primed, ready to go. And now I'm gonna break out some floss bands and get into a little bit of reverse walking on the treadmill to restrict some blood flow, but then also break up some of the tissue and then bring blood flow back in, specifically to those knees, all right? So let's do it. All right, so what we got here, I got these floss bands, right? You can get these anywhere, Amazon, Rogue, tons of people sell these now. All I'm looking to do is, you can kind of go either or, top or bottom. Today I'm gonna go top just to kind of break up some of the tissue around that kneecap. I'm gonna go at a pretty good restriction here and just bring it around, bring it up, and then I'm gonna tuck it in here for like a safety pull so I can just get it out of there if I need to, right here. And then same thing on the right. I'm just gonna bring it around. All right. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna go, that right one is spicy. Wow. I'm gonna hit this reverse for maybe, let's go for a minute or a minute and a half and see if we can break up some of this tissue. But also get this blood flow happening here. Man, I've been doing this a lot on my left knee because my left knee is the one that's got so much kind of trauma, but man, I can tell I have not been doing this on my right. This is not comfortable. So I can feel the blood flow restriction happening. No pins and needles, which is good. You want to kind of make sure you're staying off of arteries and stuff. Where are we at? Just over a minute. Let's go to 130. Ooh, this is kind of brutal, not gonna lie. Here we go. 10 to go. And good. And then take it off. Ooh. Ooh, ay. Okay. Whew. And now I can feel the blood running back through, feeling really good. All the way down the leg. Ooh, yeah, knees are feeling pretty good now. That's just something I kind of started throwing in there just to add in a mild movement, but like really intensifies it when you got the bands on there. So we'll see how I start feeling with getting these squats and things, but let's get into a couple more warm-ups first. All right, so what I'm gonna get into here is I'm just gonna try to warm these hip flexors up. So I've got some, low cable ab straps from Chic. And all I'm gonna do is put these around my feet. And then what I'm looking for is to just make sure that I'm getting these hip flexors going, kind of these low abs, kind of warm up the hip flexors. And then I'm gonna hold here to anchor and then just get some good reps. Get those knees as close to the chest as I can. Maybe go 10 to 15 reps. And I'm gonna get a couple extra on this left side, maybe 10 reps, right? Here we go. All right, what I'm gonna do now is get in some hamstring curl. Really good for that knee flexion. Getting some tension, and then I'm just holding on to the bench here, pulling up, control down. So again, not a ton of weight here. Just really wanna open the knee up with that flexion, just so everything's nice and warmed up. So now the last warm-up exercise before we get into the hip flexor stretch is gonna be a split squat, all right? So I got the bench laid out here so that I can have some assistance if I need it, all right? So all I'm looking to do here, we just worked on flexion with a hamstring curl. What I'm gonna do now is work on that extension coming out of the split squat, okay? Now this couples as both knee opening, but also hip flexor lengthening to really get some warm up there. I'm gonna start here with this left knee forward. This is the knee that I've got some issues with, right? So I'm just coming here, I'm gonna stay on the ball of the foot on both feet. And this actually feels pretty good right now, especially considering how stiff I was when I started. But getting all these warm-up sets in, you know, makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna be 40 next month too, so these warm-ups are super crucial, okay? So really just looking to feel good here. This knee's feeling great right now. Back hip flexor's getting a stretch here, coming straight up. Good, did about 5 there or so. Then we're gonna switch, opening up this back hip flexor, right there, all right? So all in all, feeling really good. And that's what I want. I just want to kind of push myself today to see how good we're feeling and just kind of put the body to the test, but not run through any pain, okay? Boom. So I'm going to do one more on each side, and then we'll get into this hip flexor stretch. Then we'll get in the rack under the bar, get some squats in. So now last thing I'm gonna get into before we get under the bar is I'm gonna get in a hip flexor stretch here. Now, a couple ways you can approach this. You can do it off a bench, you can do it with nothing. That's gonna be the most regressed, which is fine. You might be there in terms of your joint pain or hip flexor length. But what I like to do to kind of test this out is I'll put my clients in this too, where I'll go both feet down on the pad. It's all the way against the back. And then I'm gonna bring a knee back, okay? And then I'm gonna swing around this foot. Now, depending on your hip flexor length right here, you may have to leave your foot here. Okay, you may not even be able to get into that position, but we wanna see. So if we can get here, then we're pushing up. And this is really opening up right here, okay? Kind of head to wall is a good goal, or shoulders. Again, I've got some issue in this knee with flexion right there, so I can already feel it getting kind of tight, so I gotta be real careful. But we're just opening, really getting a stretch through that hip flexor. Can bring the arm up. That's gonna add some more stretch. It's hanging here for 15, maybe 30 seconds. And then we're gonna switch sides. Boom. Coming back, knee all the way back. Bringing that leg out, pushing back. See, this side is way easier. Still a stretch though, but just kind of pushing back. Getting everything opened up, feeling good. All right, so I'm gonna just get bar set up here. I'm also gonna go off the slant board today. And what this does is, this is gonna allow me to get a little bit deeper range than if I wasn't going off a slant board. So I'd be on my heels. So it's gonna be a little more knee focused here, a little less hip focused. Still gonna be some good hip work, but I really wanted to just kind of emphasize that within the knee. Not looking to go super heavy today. I wanna get some good reps, good range, and really good control within the reps. And then we'll just kind of see where it takes us and then finish with some accessory work. All right, let's get it. So one thing I want you guys to always remember is time under tension. So I know we've all done it, we've all seen it. When you get into a lift and the way down is there's zero tension, right? Boom, and back up. We're talking about safety and performance, whether it be athletics or just everyday life. Time under tension is key. How long can you hold the weight under tension, both down and up, the eccentric and the concentric? So any exercise that you're doing, always try to remember time under tension is not only gonna keep you safest, but it's also gonna bring you the most performance overall. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start adding some chains here, okay? You want a few links at the bottom, maybe touching when you're at the top of your lift. And then as you go down, as more chain falls to the floor, that weight is now off of your body. At the bottom of my squat, okay, if I'm working on range and depth, I've got less weight at the bottom, so now I can work safely to get that range. But as I come up, there's more weight being added. So by the time I get to the top of the squat, you know, these together are probably like 50 pounds. That's an extra 50 gradually going as I come up. But at the bottom, it's almost nothing. So I can really work that depth safely at the bottom, but then as I come up, now I'm adding that load when I'm in those safer ranges. So really good tool to have, plus they look super cool, which is always a bonus. We're gonna get after it. I don't know where we're gonna go. I'm guessing maybe around 95 to 135 plus the chains, and we'll see what happens. Let's get it. All right, set 2. We got 95 pounds on here, plus the chain. So this is probably right around 150, 140 to 150 at the top. And then with the chains at the bottom, you know, we're just regular weight at about 95. So let's get it. See if we can get another 10 here maybe. So that's kind of beastie. Not crazy hard, but hard enough. Knees feeling really good. I'm not going higher than that. I'm staying right there at 95 plus the chains. And I really want to work the pace, the hold at the bottom, and just the strictness of the lift. So here's the thing that I want you guys to also remember is just because you have any number of weight on the bar. My best raw squat ever in the gym is 420 pounds. My best in a competition suited is 440 pounds. And because of the imbalances within my body, not doing unilateral work, right, one leg at a time, avoiding my knee issue, my knee was weaker because of it, even though my numbers were higher. So overall, I had a really big squat, a really big deadlift, but my joints weren't as sound. So once I got back on a hoop court, and then I started to put my body in certain positions where this knee was exposed and my knee would just be shaking, but I had a 400-pound squat. Time under tension and exposing weaknesses and making them strengths versus avoiding weaknesses to look stronger than we actually are. That to me has been the biggest learning curve that I've had in the past like probably 3 years. Don't be afraid of your weaknesses and don't be embarrassed by them. Attack them, turn them into strengths, and then watch all of your lifts improve because you're doing that. But we've got to be patient with it. And again, that's one of the hardest things for me is to be patient. I feel really good right now and I'm super, super grateful for this. So let's get, I don't know, maybe we'll get 2 or 3 more sets in, finish with some accessories, and then call it a day. Going 20 total with both, and then we'll see what we get on this left leg. Ooh. Ah, come on. All right, let's go left leg now. This is wrecking me right now. Guys, no, make it stop. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's really brutal. I'm gonna do one more set though. This just tells me I need to get my hip flexors and those low abs stronger. This is not a paid endorsement, but for $25, these chic ab straps are the truth. All I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hook onto the inside clip or anchor point here. And then as I come out, this should kind of adjust on my foot the way it needs to. Let's see. Yeah, so it kind of spins around a little. All I'm doing here now is just a standard hamstring curl. I'm gonna start just with a regular 2 leg maybe for 10. And then I'm gonna start adding in an extra on the left, okay? So I'm just gonna go here. Good control on the way down. All right, so there's 10. And now I'm gonna try to get this left leg as a single, okay? Now I love Nordic hamstring curls. Challenge I have with it though is I know that my right leg is putting in more work than my left when I do it, just by the nature of my injuries. So this is a great accessory to work the knee flexion unilaterally and supplement within your Nordic, all right? So don't think it's either or. These go great together. All right, I'm gonna repeat every other again. We're gonna go 1 and 1, see if we can get 10. It'll end up being 20 on the left. Whew, all right. I think that's a wrap. Torched. The whole goal for the workout was to make sure that I was feeling good. My hip flexors got crazy work, my core, low abs, the knee extension in the squat, the hamstring, time under tension, and being efficient with your training is everything. And I lived far too long in the gym without that mentality. And it wasn't until injuries and age just caught up with me that I had to look at it differently. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Tons of stuff to work through. This is the type of stuff though that keeps me humble in the gym, because I want to be able to, play basketball and to play with my kids and to live an active life and to do it as I age. And again, it just keeps me humble. Yeah, there's, of course, aesthetically, we want to look good and we want to feel good, of course, and that's part of that. But I think more importantly, it's surviving another day and feeling good in the gym and stacking those wins and stacking those days. If you're in the gym like I've done and you're working through like joint pain, it's just gonna catch up to us at some point, right? So I would just encourage you guys, take it slow, build slowly, and just have fun, man. This was so fun for me today, and I feel really good right now. I'm pretty torched from a training perspective, but feel good, and I'm just thankful. Again, thank you guys for watching this. Thanks for stopping through. Just hit me up, questions, comments, whatever. Appreciate y'all. Let's go get it for His glory.